and welcome back to My Harlem Portraits, the show that aims at shedding a light on the incredible contributions that African Americans have given in the building of this country. We have today with us a very, very special guest, Dr. Hazel Dukes. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Dr. Dukes, you are the president of the NAACP New York State Conference, member of the NAACP National Board of Directors, a member of the Executive Committee and various board subcommittees. The NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was founded 111 years ago, and it is the oldest, the most effective, and the most respected civil rights organization in the United States. It advocates to change policies in critical issues that plague, in particular, Black and Brown communities. Within the NAACP, what is the role that the New York State Conference, which was founded in 1936, has, and what are its objectives?
Well, thank you so much. I think that the New York State Conference, as you know, we have 36 state conferences across the country, the nation, but not boastful, but New York State is in the top priorities of the association. With membership, we are a membership-based organization, as you know.
Yes.
Our branches in membership is up top. Even in this challenging time with COVID-19, our branches have just been fantastic. You're a member of the Mid-Manhattan branch. Yes. You all distribute over 10,000 masks to our communities at outings all during the summer months. Also the census, where we were going gung-ho and then we were shut down, but we still did it. Our civic engagement chair, Hazel DUKES, we did over 14,000 robot calls to people. We was involved in registering, voter registration. Our NYCHA branch, our New York City Housing branch, has worked within the NYCHA communities. We also had many of our people out with masses, but doing voter registration every weekend. We have caravans to get people to know about early voting. We took out ads in our African-American newspapers. And so we, even during this COVID-19, we still did our advocacy work.
Yes, and I know because I've been following you, apart from being the member, you and Geoffrey, you are always
on, right? Yes, they stayed out there even with the COVID-19. We were very careful. We had our masks on. We attended the honoring for the late Congressman John Lewis. We were there for the Black Lives Matter mural in Harlem. So even with COVID, and the challenges that we had a wonderful 84th virtual convention. So we take pride. We look back as we coming to the end of 2020 to know that it was unprecedented, but our branches really stayed doing our advocacy work. That's what we are. We are an advocacy organization. But even during this time, remember, many of our branches have made sure that people in their community had food. They participated in that as we fought to make sure that our city and our state provided for persons who are in need.
Wonderful. I've been following you since I was in Europe, because I was always been interested in civil rights movements and your work. And I never knew at that time that one day I would be a member of your organization. So I'm really happy about that. You should be also very proud about the fact that you are among the New York State's presidential electors, and you went to Albany to officially cast your vote for Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris to become president and vice president of the United States. How did you feel casting that vote?
It was so exciting, but let me just tell you the feeling. I have known President-elect Joe Biden for over 20 years, not just as an elected person, but as a person. One of our members in Delaware, who is deceased now, but the one who is still living, introduced me to President-elect Biden when he was a senator in Delaware. And I can tell you, he's a real human being. He's never forgotten me. Anytime he see me, not hello, it's Hazel by my name. And so to be, after my disappointment that I could not cast the ballot for the Electoral College for Hillary Clinton, it was great. And to have President and Mrs. Clinton there with us, that day, the governor Cuomo did, and he and his staff did an excellent job in making sure that we had all the health protocols that we needed in Albany. And the ceremony was absolutely heartwarming.
It must have been an amazing feeling because
it was amazing.
Such a critical election in our
yes
for the world, not just for America, for the world. We need
for the world, absolutely.
What is your sentiment about the cabinet that has been put together so far? It's pretty
every day that he announced, I just know I said that's the man that is keeping his promise. He's showing America, he's showing the world that he's inclusive, that that he wants his cabinet to represent America, and people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different cultures, but we all are Americans. And so that's what he's putting forth. And I think that while some of them I know, some I don't know, some I've had the privilege to work with before, Susan Rice, when she was the ambassador at the UN, because I represent the UN from the Links, another African-American organization of women. So I had to know her and had a chance to work with her. Of course, Congresswoman Fudge, I am a Delta. She was president of our Delta Sigma Theta sorority, one of the leading sororities for African-American women. I know that her leadership, her tenacity, and her caring about people, we will get something done there. I know Cedric Richmond, who's going to be a policy advisor. I knew him working with in Louisiana with the NAACP before he became a congressperson. And so every day that I read about those that I don't know, they are qualified. They just happen to represent different segment of and gender of our communities. And that's really heartwarming to see.
It is very wonderful to see what is happening. I have the same feeling you have, that it's going to be a very representative cabinet, representative of this incredible melting pot that is America.
As the late Dave Dinkins used to say, it's the mosaic. Yeah.
Sorry?
Right. I said the late Mayor Dinkins used to call it, you know.
Yes, mosaic. Yes.
Right.
Let's talk about Mayor Dinkins for a moment, because we need to celebrate the fact that he's not with us anymore. But you were a very good friend of Mayor Dinkins. He considered you like his sister. Tell me a little bit about him.
I'm still saddened with the loss of both of them. Uh, Mayor and Mrs. Dinkins both were very good friends of mine. We had over almost 4 decades of friendship. That was way before he became mayor, ever thought about becoming mayor. But he didn't change. When he became mayor, he was the mayor for all New Yorkers. Such dignity and respect for men and women, regardless what your station was. He spent just as much time with a homeless individual as he would the students at Columbia. And so for both of them, we owe a great debt of gratitude for their service as public servants and for their leadership that they gave to all of us who had the privilege to work with them and to know them. And so we are still mourning the loss of this great man, but we know that the city and the world is better because the Dinkins passed through.
Yes, absolutely. I had the opportunity of meeting him a few times, and I was
Yes,
always amazed by his grace and his willingness to talk to you and help you with understanding certain things. So I was really upset when this happened, but let's talk about something really positive. We flipped the Georgia blue. Now we need to make sure that it will be blue in this election, because a massive 70,000 new voters just registered in this battleground. And if they all vote in the Senate runoffs, they could flip the Senate and help the Democrats pass what the much needed and all-encompassing progressive agenda. In
absolutely.
November, Biden won Georgia by about 12,000 votes, and that was already a success. But now 6 times that many new voters have registered to vote in the runoffs. More than 1 million have already voted today. Do you believe that grassroots movements like the NAACP had a fundamental role in this massive increase in the number of people voting all over the US?
Absolutely. Just let me tell you that there's about 6 African American groups on the ground, but we have to always raise up Stacey Abrams,
Yes.
who really started that movement of getting the rural people, not just the city, not just Atlanta, but going out into those counties, in the Cobb County and to the different counties to get people registered. On every Sunday evening since August, there's been about 265 women that meet, and they represent these organizations. Oprah Winfield been doing a great job helping the organizations on the ground. We've raised money for those organizations. I happen to know personally Reverend Warnock. He was an assistant pastor at Abyssinia for 10 years while he was studying at Union. So I got to know him personally, and great young man, great history of life. And so with him and the running mate Ozark, we got to win it. I believe that yes, they have more money than we have. They are pulling in all the big monies that they can. But I think the people on the ground, the work that the 6 African American and Latino organizations have put together we've had John Legend, we've had Kerry Washington. The people are really has been helping out those people on the ground there. I believe that the grassroots going to outweigh the Republican money.
Yes, I
And
am.
I put in my little bit also that I could.
You put in a lot, not just a little bit. You work non-stop.
Yeah, but I've also made financial contributions, because in this game, African Americans do not have the kind of money that our other people have when they go into these races. And so I supported Senator Harris fundraising efforts. I am a member of the National Democratic Committee. I supported the Democratic Committee. I support New York State Democratic Committee. I support Senator Brian Benjamin, Assemblywoman Inez Dinkins. I have to spread it around. It's not as much as I would like to give, but I give some to all of them because we need good representation.
That's absolutely right. Thank you for all you do. And you were mentioning before that the 84th New York State Convention was held in October 9th and 10th, I think. And
Yes,
and it was held virtually.
virtual. Uh-huh.
What were considered the achievements obtained and the future action plans concerning critical issues still plaguing Black and Brown communities, like criminal
Absolutely.
justice?
Absolutely. We are beginning to work on our 2020 legislative agenda. We have some more criminal justice reform to do. We got to really look at economic development. I just came from Harlem, where the Uber Eat is going to be helping our Black businesses in Harlem, starting at 137th to 139th, where they can have indoors eating, outside eating. That is going to be, it was a very wonderful ceremony. I was there with our borough president, Gail Brewer, and all the owners up there. That was at 11 o'clock this morning. We got to make sure that our business is small business is the engine for New York City, and especially in our communities. And so we got to patronize them. We got to make sure that they survive during this critical time. We also got to look at education. This remote learning has taken a definite toll. Our children was already behind, not having devices. Our kids who are in the shelters, we don't have broadbanding for them to their devices to work with. So we have been working in this, and we got to get ready for September school opening. We got to do better. We got to have our children back to school. Some parents have to go to work because if they don't go to work, they will be evicted. They won't be able to pay rent. They won't be able to have food on the table. So we got to get our children back in classrooms where they can be taught in the way that they know, because many parents don't even know this new math and technology that we have to deal with. So that's important. So we have a laundry list for 2020 to continue to be advocates for our community, to make sure that our state and our city make sure that our communities for testing and tracing for COVID-19, we fought to get testing in our community. We had it at many of our religious institutions. We're going to make sure the governor today is announcing an advisory committee for the vaccine. I'm on that advisory committee. This evening, CB10, Community Board 10, and Columbia University, along with Borough President Gail Brewer, is having a presentation tonight on a vaccine. When will not just the essential workers, but when will John Blow get able to have it? And so we are working on that today. Our health committee has been working with Pfizer. We have one member who was a former health chair for us, who was in the trial for the one that just got the vaccine that just got approved, I believe on Friday, McDermott. And so we are very much involved in that because health is wealth. If you don't have health, everything else falls apart. You can't maintain a full-time employment. You can't be take care of your family and yourself. So health is one of the priorities. As you know, we have 5 game changers, 6 really, because we look at youth for the NAACP. So all of those areas we will continue to work on to make sure Rome is not built in a day. While we had some success with criminal justice reform, there still need to be more. While we've had some success in the health field,
right?
right, we got to make sure. Yeah, but we got other ones. And for civic engagement, we got to make sure we did have early voting in New York State, but we got to make it permanent. We got to make sure that people can walk into a polling place with the right credentials and be registered that same day. We want people to participate in democracy, so we shouldn't make it hard for them. Not only should it be, we should always have early voting. We should always have, you don't have to be out of town or tell a tale that you're sick. We ought to be able to have absentee ballot. And so we got to work on that in New York State. We've done some good, but we got to make it very easy and clear that we're not voting, having voter suppression, that we are opening up every area that people participate and be able to elect their officials that represent them. As you know, in New York City, we'll have 34 new council seats. We have a mayor, we have controller. And so we got to make sure that everybody who want to vote and have a voice, that is your voice. Put down the bullets and pick up the ballots.
Absolutely. And I think you had a lot of success in this because this elections was the one with the most people coming to the voting.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have lines. The Saturday, the first day of voting, I had said to everybody I was going to be the first in line. When I got to my place at 135th Street, the line was going down to state office building. And so we had people from all over. It was a sight to see. That was the day the NAACP had caravans. We was giving out water. We went through all the areas. Claire, the Mid-Manhattan branch, organized the caravan for the New York City branches. And it was a beautiful thing to see everywhere we visit. There were lines, 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 not only the first day, but it went all the way up to election day. And so, yes, people want to participate. People want to have a say in their government because they understand now, the more we educate people, that policy is the way that govern our life. You can't get water unless in somebody, you can't get a death certificate or a marriage certificate unless in somebody signed for it. And so we, in educating our community, that these men and women who are in elected positions have control over our life. And so we must make them know that if they don't do what we want them to do, we vote them in and we vote them out. We got to have accountability.
Absolutely. And this is what, you know, I've been working in politics all my life because I work in the European Parliament.
Yes.
All my life. And one thing that it was always strange for Europeans to see that the participation to the voting in the States was very low compared to our standards. So
absolutely.
I think this time you have really managed to.
Well, yeah, we got to continue to educate.
Absolutely.
We got to continue to educate, and we need to make sure that it's in our school system. We need to have civics in the school system, that our children at an early age learn why is it important to vote. We are not telling them to be Democrats, Republicans, green tree, green leaves, whatever, but they should participate in democracy.
Absolutely. And thank you again for all the work that you and your organizations are doing and have been doing since.
Well, not our organization, you're a part of it. You mean our organization.
Our organization.
Let me just say to your listening audience, the NAACP has never changed its name. It's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. People come in all colors.
Yes.
If you want a good, beautiful salad, you just don't have greeneries. You have peppers, different colors. You have tomatoes, you have cucumbers. And in a garden, if you want a beautiful flower garden, you just don't have roses. You have different mixture. And that's what the NAACP has done. So when the NAACP win a victory, it's not just for African Americans, it's for Americans. It's for the world. And so that's why it's your organization as much as it is mine.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you for reminding me of that. And thank you again for giving me the chance to participate in this. And this is my way to give back to Harlem, is having these interviews to make
and
people.
Thank you for your patience, because I know you've been trying to get to me, but my schedule sometimes get very hectic. And especially doing this where we couldn't be out. We are Zooming and on calls all day.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity. Whenever you can come back and, update us on what's going on, I'll be happy to have you.
In 2020, as we work with our legislative, I'll be more than happy to come back on to talk about.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful holiday season, and pray for a blessed, healthy, and happy New Year's.
Likewise. Thank you so much. And thank you to our viewers. Bye-bye.
All right. Goodbye.